One of the things I'm going to cover off now is dealing with councils for housing benefits for the DSS. If you decide to accept someone on benefits, then chances are that the actual council will pay, or the housing allowance, sorry, the housing association will pay most of the rent. Sometimes they'll pay all of it, depends what kind of income they have. If they're on a low income, then chances are all of it gets paid by the housing authority or benefits agency. If they have a small income coming in, mum doing 16 hours a week, whatever, then potentially there might be some percentage that she has to pay or he has to pay. The way the benefits rentals are normally paid is 4 weeks in arrears. That is standard across the board. There are no deviations from that with any of the county councils. One of the things it says, obviously ensure the benefits checks are made out to you. That has changed, as I said, in the last year or so, when they decided to empower the actual tenants. But if you think for 1 second you will have any problems actually getting the money from the tenant, you just request the money is sent directly to you. And at the end of the day, the county councils are much happier to do that, or the benefits agencies would rather have you have the money, because if the person defaults on their payments, you kick them out, the council still has to house them somewhere. And emergency housing, i.e. bed and breakfast, is very expensive. So they'd rather negate that issue and basically make sure that you get your money every month. One thing to be aware of, clawbacks. If your tenant, DSS, is making a fraudulent claim, then they can look to claw back the rent. Just to be aware. But if you are going to rent a DSS, obviously speak to the county council and see how they manage that. Relationship between the landlord and the tenant. They are not your... Begins with F and ends in end.
Friends.
Exactly. It is a business agreement, so make sure you have all the documentation in place. Not a case of, yeah, don't worry about it, I'll come and pay you next week, make it's not a problem. Make sure you have an AST. If possible, get a standing order. If they can't do direct debits, they are not your friend, and you are not theirs. It is purely business. If the tenant tries to become friendly with you, like invites you to their Christmas party, do not go. All right? You end up getting very drunk, trashing their boiler. Who ends up paying the bill? Things like that. No. End of the day, as I said, you know, in business, I've been in business a long time. The relationship you have between yourself and your business clients should stay that way. All well and good going out if you work in, but keep it like that. Keep it separate. Ways to collect your rents, 4 main ways. Use a letting agent and pay the fees. 10 to 12% typical from a letting agent. Do they deserve that money? No. Are they lazy? Yes.
I want good ones about bad ones.
Exactly. The good ones are great, the bad ones are atrocious. You know. A friend of mine, she had a very expensive house down in South Wales, and she went through a huge estate agent stroke letting agent. 4 months down the line, when they hadn't got her a single penny, they said, oh, we're having problems getting hold of the tenants. Can you get us some keys so we can get access for it? So 4 months without any rental income from the property. Did they resolve it? No. Did she have to take the tenants to court and kick them out? Yes. Was she happy? No. Would she ever use a letting agent again? Exactly. So just because they're big doesn't mean they're good. Ladies, remember that. You've got to get the real cheesy ones in, haven't you? Using a letting agent, as I said, be aware of the fact that you will have costs. So whatever your rental income is, take 10% straight off it as a minimum. Other things to remember are buildings insurance. Everyone got buildings insurance on their HMOs? Yeah? Buildings insurance, yeah. Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people haven't. So just make sure you have it. There was a Direct Line a few months ago advertising on telly, landlords, property insurance, shop round. See who's got the best deals out there. What's the word I'm looking for? Excellent.
2 words.
Exactly.
So,
Not when I spell it, it isn't.
Mike,
Yes.
I've got just relating to your last point, I've got a letting agent who's still trying to collect money from 10 years ago.
Right.
1997, it's just a bit more than 10 years ago.
Right.
So they do know where the guy is, and he's coming up with something like £5 a month is the most he can pay.
How much do they owe you?
I think it's about down to about £900 now.
How much is it costing you to chase the money?
Nothing at the moment.
Right, okay, at the moment. Do you reckon that might change?
If I were to do anything which involved legal action, yes.
Okay. Same thing again, you need to weigh the costs of it. You know, £900 is still £900.
The Citizens Advice Bureau say that I think it's gone up to £29 when he feels like it.
Right.
But
Not DSS, is he?
there's not much else I can do about it. No?
That's the thing. Sometimes you have to just make a decision and say, I'll write it off. And that's where your contingency comes in with your rental. It's the fact that sometimes, you know, life's too short to stress about.
Can you sell the debt to somebody else? Are there people
It's not worth doing it, to be honest, not for that volume. Same to the small claims court, try and do something that way, but chances are if they can't afford to pay,
Money, apparently.
then you might end up chasing your tail. If you have to go down the legal route for that amount of money, unless you've got any kind of guarantees that you're going to get it back, it's not worth it. How much are you worth per day, realistically, your time?
£565.
Okay. So if it takes you a day and a half to get back £900, is that money well spent?
No.
No. So you just have to make a judgment call sometimes. Just stay in one night, you know. So yeah, as I said, you know, chasing debt like that, you can do it. There are companies out there that will do it for you. Do they do it cheaply? No. Is it worth doing it for £900? Depends how desperately you need the £900. As I said, if it costs you a day and a half of your time to chase it, then you're suddenly, you know, only making £150 out of it.
AJ's got a quick eviction book.
You have, but same thing again, you know, if they've got no money, you can get them out of the property, fine. But if they owe you money, different ballgame altogether, you know, you have to weigh it whether it's worth chasing them or not.
What about the satisfaction of not letting them get away with it?
Don't know. I watch 24 and things like that, so I get my satisfaction. I'd much rather watch telly than chase some tenants out, you know. Unless you've got a real big baseball bat and no one's ever going to catch you with it, then go for it. But sometimes that's when it becomes personal, and that's when, you know, a week later the police are knocking your door. Sir, can we have a quick word with you outside, you know? So, as I said, it's business, not personal.
You can get insurance for non-payment.
You can, yeah. Same thing again. You know, look what's out there, see what kind of products are out there. If you're renting a property out and you're only making £450 a month on it, then is it worth paying an extra £50, £60, £100 a month for the insurance? No. But if you've got a high-value property that you're renting out, then put the insurance on there to make sure you're covered. You can even get insurance for void periods and things like that. But you know, you have to do your maths.